lovelier television cabinet styles than those created by Motorola.
Station break for commercial. Turn the set on. Select your channel. See all color shows.
With me on new Memorex videotape. This remarkable tape has been recorded.
You can experience your favorite movies like never before. Blu-ray disc.
It's on your computer. It's on your iPod.
Australia, you decide.
I would say that spectatorship of film and television is always changing. I think we do have a tendency to sort of focus on our own contemporary era and say, oh, well, all this is happening, there are all these developments. But of course, there have always been changes and developments in film and television.
Yeah, the biggest change for me has been shifting TV to my schedule rather than shifting my schedule to TV.
TV's definitely changed in the way people are watching TV, just because there is that interaction now, so through social media, through different apps and catch-up TV and things that TV networks have brought to interact with their viewers.
I definitely think that television programmers understand the way that people engage, whether they're, if they're watching online, if they're watching on mobile platforms. I think they absolutely create programs to suit audiences' viewing habits.
We'll build the app, but that's because the viewers are looking for an app. But the viewers are looking for an app because they know there's an app. So I think, in my opinion, it's a bit of both. It's just technology's changing and we're all just trying to keep up with it.
I think that mobile phones can either distract you or engage you further, probably both sometimes at the same time, depending on the viewer and how they use it. I think programmers would very much like you to be engaging on all your platforms with the program, but yeah, not necessarily. It can absolutely fragment your attention, and I think it very often does.
We at Nine have developed a social media strategy, and we've got a team up in Sydney of about 20 people that are rostered on and off, and then there's me in Melbourne, and they're sitting there during each episode of Big Brother, The Block, every show, all day, 24 hours, responding to people, posting behind the scenes photos, asking questions, interacting with people. So when there is a break and you pick up your phone to see what Ryan Gosling's doing today, there pops up a little tweet from The Block. Oh yeah, I'm watching that. So I do think people get distracted, but I think, I know we are trying to combat that by sneaking ourselves into their distraction.
I use my phone a lot when I'm watching shows like Q&A because I think Q&A relies particularly well on the dialogue around the show. So you've got the TV watchers talking about what's happening, seeing what the popular tweets are. That show's really about the conversation on Twitter as much as what the panelists are saying, if not more so.
We definitely have a massive presence on Facebook, which I've always seen as the biggest platform that we use. But we kind of will post something, plant the seed, and then let everyone chat about it with each other.
I'm tweeting about all kinds of TV series that I'm watching. Not just the reality shows. I guess MasterChef's another good one to tweet. The Bachelor, The Bachelor Australia just took over Twitter every Wednesday, Thursday night, whenever it was screened. It was trending. It was huge. Everyone on Facebook was talking about that. That was like a thing. It was a return to water cooler TV, I guess.
When you interact with something, you get that immediacy. You get this feedback. So it sort of has this strange experiential dimension where you get this compressing of space and distance. So yeah, it definitely affects sort of the sensation or the I guess our experience of viewing in that way.
I'm a judge.
You cast the vote.
You raise the wall. Make or break a star instantly. The next evolution of live television. Rising Star.
Australia, you decide who wins $250,000 big ones.
The winner is...
The grand finale week starts live Sunday on 9.
Also, I think whilst distracted viewing and multi-platform technology is incredibly important, don't forget that there are developments in the opposite direction as well. You know, the quality TV thing strongly engages people's attention. It strongly engages people's gaze as well. Like something like Game of Thrones or Mad Men is visually compelling. It, you know, arrests people. It makes them sit in their seat. It does invite strong attention. And even the trend towards international TV, like there are lots of international programs like The Bridge or The Returned. You can't watch a subtitled television program without staying put. So I certainly think there's also developments in the opposite direction, you know, towards strong attention from viewers.
When I'm watching dramas, mainly I don't like having my phone near me because it is a massive distraction, particularly in dramatic lulls, in pauses, in the more slower moving aspects of the show. So a show like HBO's Treme, for example, which is very sort of meditative and languorous, I guess, I would put my phone onto airplane mode when I watch that because I don't want to get distracted.
I think, you know, it's sort of an interesting dynamic. It's sort of distraction, but also more opportunities for engagement, deeper engagement if you want to.
9 Jump In was developed because everyone is using their phones these days and iPads and things. So we developed the app, so it's all formatted for the phone, easy to use. We do behind the scenes footage, polls, just ways to interact with our viewers. We do have a social media presence, so we've got the Facebook, the Twitter, Instagram, and we'll share from each page just to promote each network priority.
For Australian stuff, I'll always watch that on the catch-up streaming services. They're pretty good, so like pretty much anything that screens on Australian TV will be online, you know, on ABC, iView, SBS On Demand, whatever Channel 9's one's called, Jump In.
I think time delays and having to wait for programs is an excellent example of how television programmers are responding to audience demand because, you know, they're desperately fighting against piracy in this country. And so, yeah, the things like Doctor Who being on iView and Game of Thrones airing a few hours after it airs in the US are excellent examples of audience demand fueling the way that, you know, programmers go about their business. Yeah. Viewers always have a degree of control over what they're watching. I certainly think that nowadays there is more opportunities for feedback with programmers, and certainly different technologies like the internet, like torrenting, has given, you know, viewers a really strong negotiating position, you know, with you know, programmers.
Now, if you're playing the movie on a telephone, you will never in a trillion years experience the film. You'll think you have experienced it, but you'll be cheated. It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.